Plus it's a lot of fun, believe me. Just join me.
Hey everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today I'm going to show you how you can paint something beautiful. I thought it would be a really great day for us to get together and paint something just romantic and lovely on the 16 by 20 canvas. To help me do that is my husband, John.
Hello.
He's going to make sure that you guys at home can see everything that I'm teaching, demonstrating, and talking about by making sure one of our many cameras is pointing, zoomed in, and on top of the techniques in action. I'm going to explain every color mix. I'm going to explain every tool, every technique, every brush. If you need a sneak peek at what those are, you can check the description below or the website. We will be doing a giveaway, but we'll do that at the end of the show. So if you'd like to participate in the giveaway, be sure to come to the end. Or skip forward. I don't mind if you're here on the replay. Just skip to the end and find out what it is. I'll love all the way around. But I think this is going to be a fun day because we're going to do a bride in a window, John. Bride in a window. And we're going to make it fun and easy. Let's get started. Let's hop on in.
All right.
Let's go over materials.
Oh, are we going to go over materials today?
Yes, we're going to go over materials. So, 16 by 20 canvas.
Yeah.
I have Mars Black out already because we're going to paint. We're going to start with a black canvas today. I've got cad yellow, titanium white, cad red, and burnt sienna. So we'll put those aside because we're going to be using those later. And let's call this step one.
Okay.
Step one will be fun. How's everybody? It's been a minute since we're live, if you're wondering. We're live.
This is very
More than live chat today. We're live.
We're gone beyond the limits of the normal live.
We're live. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big brush. This is a big brush, right? This is a 2-inch cutter. It's just a nice brush to paint a big area. And I'm going to get it slightly wet. And the reason we do slightly wet is sometimes with the natural bristle brushes, they hold a lot more water than our other brushes. And then I'm going to do another thing here. I'm going to very carefully pull down my splash protector and make sure that I don't do in all the nice work that I've been doing this whole time, right?
That's true.
I mean, I have more paintings. I could replace them, but it's nice. Oh, you can tell we're doing a black because it's like black on the white easel.
Yeah.
But we're going to just use up a nice amount of paint the entire canvas black, and then dry it. That's a good, easy start, isn't it?
It really is.
You forget how vigorous painting is until you have a splash guard and you're like, whoa, it's on me, it's everywhere. Especially the big canvases.
Yeah, it does help, that little pull down thing.
Oh, it was a brilliant idea. I really wanted the art wall so badly, but there was no way to prevent the splashing, and then John came up with that good idea. I'm going to just really work this in. This doesn't have to be super perfect, guys. You just want a solid coat of black. Just a good place to start from. Also, it's probably kind of interesting to see how much paint it takes to paint a whole canvas this size black. That's a curious thing, right? How much paint would it take? I like today because it's not too many colors and the techniques are going to be pretty easy. If you don't want to draw when we get to the drawing portion of this, there is a traceable you can download off the website for free. So don't feel like you're trapped in doing that activity. So when I have it like this, I'm going to make sure I rinse out my brush. And I'm going to have to put it aside where it can be saved after the show. You don't want to let paint dry on your brushes. It'll ruin them. All right. I'm going to take hair dryer, my friend, and I'm going to dry it.
So while she's drying that, I'll say thoroughly dry that surface. Make sure it's very, very dry. You'll see that sheen go from glossy to matte. I'm kind of over her left shoulder so you can see the reflection very easily. A little harder to see it over here. But don't forget to check in the link in the description below. You're going to find all the things that humans need to do this painting. So if you need like a reference photo or step-by-step stuff, all that's down there. And while you're there, you should do the other human things of like clicking subscribe and ringing the bell and, just doing all the things that good humans do on social media. And that helps us. It helps us grow. It helps us do those things. And we appreciate it when the Earthlings support us. It helps bring art all over the world. She's just getting around the edges so that we don't get little paint goos on everything, because that's the thing that happens when you're painting white. If the black is not thoroughly dry, it will contaminate into all of the other places. Yeah, you could. So.
If it is.
Yeah.
All right. Next step, I'm going to make sure I kind of clip this down. So we're still in the same step. We're not going to another step, John. I'm going to take a ruler and chalk and do a simplified grid.
Okay.
Now, I'm still going to explain the drawing part very carefully and in detail. But a simplified grid, that's not every 1 inch, but just a general mapping of the canvas, will help you let those objects stay sort of in the shape and size that they need to. And that's really important in your canvas drawing, right? And it's super simple. And it's a lot of fun. And let's do that. I'm going to take a big ruler. And I have an oldie but a goodie here. I've got my old Dritz chalk tool here.
Yeah.
And the simplified grid is available for you on the website. Basically, we're going to mark at 5 and 10 and 15.
Ah, gotcha.
We're going to go 5, 10, 15, right? And then we will make horizontal lines that way. The ruler helps me keep my lines straight. On this type of grid, it's not that important because we're just trying to make sure our scale and object placement stays similar to each other. Doesn't have to be perfect, but similar can be nice. So I'm just coming across there. So I have these 3 lines going across. And then I'm going to measure 4, 8, and 12 inches. 16 by 20. And interesting how that works. And again across. Now, if you have that and I have that, then we have the same divisions on our canvas. And with that, we can just do anything.
Ah.
Now, I know there's some people that click away anytime they hear the word grid, but I really want you guys to resist doing that.
It is the way.
It is a good way. And not all grids are complicated or overwhelming. Look at that. I'm going to put this aside and let's see what we've got over a foot. I have any good sharpened pencils. That's always a thing for me, is keeping my pencil sharpened.
Mm.
And yes, I have new hairs today. I'm sure that question has come up. Did I get my hair done? Yes, I did.
And they've noticed your new studio
Rhiannon
stuff.
at Cutouts does this.
And you had
really
new
good.
studio stuff, too.
I have lots of new studio stuff. And for those of you that follow my social media, we have a new furry family member, a corgi puppy.
Are you done splattering?
I am done splattering, I think, for now.
I think you could de-screen.
I think I can. All right, so this is also, it's the same as this. This is a chalk pencil. It is a Cretacolor white chalk pencil. And, oh, no, this is the chalk oil. I don't want the chalk oil.
That's not the good one.
I can get the right one, but I have other ones here. What I want is the one that is chalk. Doop, that I drop on the ground.
That's not the one. It was not the one.
There we go. It wasn't the one. Okay, dropping things on the ground. So this is a Stabilo white pastel pencil. So I don't want oil. The reason that pencil wasn't any good is it said the word oil or grease. You don't want that. You want something that's pastel or chalk. You can use a piece of chalk here if you want, but sometimes it's helpful to not do so.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and have a nice little ruler here. And what's great about this, right? What is wonderful about this is we're going to use, I'm going to open up a new window. Saving, I thought I had it. I have this weird thing on my sketches where it whatever orientation it is, John, on my iPad.
It's wrong.
It's just wrong. It
always
doesn't matter
the
what it
wrong
is. It's just
orientation.
going to be wrong.
Huh?
And I have to reorient it. All right, there we go. That's wonderful.
The
Because then I can put that in a zoom. Okay. So the window is really between the 10 and 15 mark.
Okay.
Right? And I'll use the big ruler again. It's good. It's a good one.
Big ruler.
A big ruler. So the floor is really kind of a little bit below here. So I'm going to just use about 2 inches down there. You can see that. And it's got a sort of arcing line. See from the center here, I'm going to arc over to the side. From the center, I'm going to arc over to the side. That kind of talks about the weird light that I'm going to have on the floor. Right? This is almost perfectly the size of the window. Super convenient. The bottom of the window, interestingly enough, is just a little bit below the 8-inch mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just come down a little tiny bit and put my sill down here. And then another part of my little sill down here. I can do the same up here. It's got a little bit of a sill. So I'm just using my ruler to help me sketch out these window lines and not have it get, you know how it can be all crookedy?
I do. I
Yes.
am a very crookedy drawer.
I'm going to come, and I want kind of a center window on either side of this. So I'm going to come here, make a line down, come here, make a line down. That gives me a little bit of that center frame. I'm going to be brushing this in so it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Things don't have to be perfect. And that's going to be an important thing to remember when you do any of these types of paintings. I'm going to kind of even thicken my molding, exaggerate it so it's better. We'll put you close by because I like you. And then we'll draw in our girl. Now our girl, she is looking to the right, right? And the top of her head is just above that line. It's peeking up.
Just above.
We've got a nice little, I'm going to zoom in so I can really see the features. Nose comes down and comes out. Nice little zoom out. All right, a little bout down. And then 2 lips. Now again, if figure drawing is not your thing, I've got a traceable. Uh-oh, who's coming downstairs?
I think a puppy to go
All
outside.
right, puppy gets dispensation. It's a shortcake exception.
There was a bunch of, oh, well, it's a loaded diaper coming down.
So
Not actually the puppy.
You don't actually get the puppy, guys. You just get the puppy poo. But you can see when you're doing that sort of forward face. And it's not perfectly to the side, but it's a lot looking over towards the side. All right, just bring that down. We know we want to take in that much little scale, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things when you're drawing faces, just remember that you give yourself enough jaw, right? Look at this. There's a skull right here, isn't there?
There is.
You just want to make sure that there's a skull under what you've got going on. Sounds grim, I know.
Your
Bring a
noggin
couple little
needs
shoulders
supporting.
over here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And her waist, actually, what's wonderful, I'm gonna come right in just below that little line there. And we're gonna taper it in both sides.
Ooh.
This arm, let's put a little ball here. I like to put little balls for my shoulders just so I remember that there's a little joint. Comes back into her body a bit. And then it's going to go down into the dress. And this one is going to come over this way into the dress. How do you know where to anchor your elbows?
I don't know.
At the waist. Elbows will anchor at your waist.
Oh.
I bring my little neck here. Hair is going to come here. There we go. And what's great about this dress is it's going to take up so much big space, isn't it? Wonderful big space right down into the carpet below, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, and then the other fun thing that we have is coming off the window at the sides here. Are curtains that are blowing back. And these curtains are going to be coming over here to the side, blowing away. Same thing here. Curtain coming up off. Framing this window and going right into the dark. What's wonderful about this black canvas is these are going to be going right into the dark. We'll be doing a wonderful little hair thing here. And I'm just thinking about my sketch. Like I'm bringing it down. I'm going to make sure I drop an elbow reminder here, right?
Yeah.
Even if I've got an arm coming back into my figure, I still will want to drop an elbow reminder. Notice that they're going to line up when all is said and done. And there's a wonderful little corset that comes across here.
Mm-hmm.
That's laced. So we're going to get to play with that as well. And you can customize this to be the dress that you have or the dress that somebody has if you're giving this as a gift. So that's step one, guys. That's just sort of sketching in some basic information. Doesn't need to be perfect. A lot of it's going to happen when we paint and create highlights and things. So just knowing where basic objects are is really what you have to do at this stage. I'm going to give this to John to take a picture of step one and talk about painting people. So it can be really emotionally challenging and skill set challenging to do people because what do we look at a lot? We look at people, and we have a real visual catalog of memory of human beings. And then we also have probably put together, you know, back if you're Generation X, you looked at magazines, and if you're a millennial to Z, you look at Instagram, but you look at figures, you look at people. And whether it's from magazines or whether it's from Instagram, we get kind of an idealized sense of people. And so you're always kind of juggling that, aren't you? That sense of what you feel the figure should look like, what the figure does look like, and your expectations that you're placing on yourself. So those are the things that you've got to really pump the brakes on, those expectations, right? You can change anything in a painting. You can fix it, you can alter it, you can move an object, change an arm, paint out, paint in, right? But you really, really, really must make sure you lower those expectations on yourself. The pressure, right? Painting's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be so full of pressure. I read sometimes that you guys get frustrated and you're crying. If you're at a frustrated place, use the traceable. It's like spot on. It's not loose like my sketch here. It's spot on. So you can use that and know you're going to get that figure if you're stressed out about that, right? You can use a model. You can use all kinds of things. So don't feel like you've got to run yourself right. I'm sorry. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paint in some of the objects around here, sort of loosely sketch them in, and that means we get to put out more paint, John.
Oh, all right.
So I'm going to put out some burnt sienna. Then next to it, I'll put some CAD yellow medium. So I have to open this one up. Yep. It's fresh. All right, a little cadmium yellow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of my cadmium red here. Put my black where I had my black. I'm going to add white to the palette. And that's really all I need for this whole painting. Painting is a very simple palette painting. How is everybody doing today?
Really good. I noticed that we've got a lot of our crew back here. I see Patty's back from her
Hi,
trip.
Patty. Missed
I
you.
see Mary's and Jane and Bella and Ashley and Luella. They were all in here just carrying this Carol.
That is awesome. All right, so we have titanium white, burnt sienna, CAD yellow medium, CAD red, more titanium white, and a little Mars black. And we're going to start kind of loosely putting things in.
Okay.
Now, a trick that you can do when you've got molding like this, right, like a window, is you can use brushes that are the width of what you're painting in, right? So I can take this number 8 Raphael Textura synthetic brush that is, look, right, perfect window sill width. And that can really help me. I'm going to get a little bit wet, and I'm going to make some light orange. It's got a little bit of red in it, but it's still pretty yellow, and then I can get that into the brown, and that's going to create my very light wood color. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to just start the windowsill by stroking down. Now we're going to be using a lot of contrast to help pop our windows.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, this is just sort of the placement of objects.
Jenna was wondering, when are we going to get a new emoji? We need a Technicolor Sherpa emoji.
I feel like I could do that. I think we do need to do a new emoji soon. I feel like it's getting to be emoji time.
You always know it's emoji season.
It's emoji season.
The first snowfall indicates that you're deep in emoji season.
Emoji season is a very special season. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make this window lower here. Down here. I'm gonna lower it. I think I was painting it too high there. And that sometimes can happen when you have a lot of lines. But again, we're just loose sketching, and if ever it does, I can just go back and be like, nope, 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 nope. This is what I meant. See?
Ah.
I'm not stuck. I'm not stressed. It's not too much of a worry. It's just creating a loose understanding of what you've got going on. Now, as I come out kind of where we'll be into the curtain, I'm going to get a little more red and brown. Right. And we know we've got molding that's going to be here kind of showing through the shears. And then I'm going to get a little black into there and blend it so that it's going into a shadow. Just the brown and red. I'm stroking that down, up and down. So this is lighter and this is darker. And also now we know where it is. That's not bad.
Not at all.
No, we've got some stuff sort of going on here. Now what we can do in here, and I'm going to put this brush aside, and I'm going to get a bigger brush because I don't want to work all day doing this. Let's get a number 20 Textura. This is, these brush numbers, guys, we tell them to you, but every brush company has different numbers for the same size brush. So it's really only helpful to the brand and the line of brushes. Just pro tip. I'm going to go ahead and take some white, and I might tint it with just a smidge of yellow. And begin to carefully paint in this incredible glow on this window. And I'll paint around my figure. A little more white than that. The yellow was heavy on that one side. And I just add white if it is. And I'll come into my figure a bit because I want to be able to put loose bits of hair and create a little halos around the figure. Now this right now is a very light yellow. And then we're just kind of loosely painting over the background. We're getting that groundwork done.
Yeah. Looking really neat, though.
It can, but listen what, you guys at home, sometimes when you're new to painting, you don't know from about step 1 to step 7
Yeah.
or so in painting could be the ugly stage, of which paintings, acrylic paintings, can be ugly ducklings. They have to get enough paint on them, enough technique in them for the real painting to start to come to bear. And because we can paint so loosely until we have to pull in these really strong, important elements, a lot of times what that means is that things can look a little weirder than we might like. All right, so we're just going here, but we've got that in. So we've got a kind of the beginning of the halo of the window. It's messy, but it's here. We're going to end up painting it in very neatly. It will come in neater on the next layer of it. Oh, goodness gracious, that was way too much yellow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, is the transparentness of yellow a problem here?
No, it's actually really helpful here. In this particular painting, some of these colors, browns and yellows being transparent, actually will play in for us really well. All right, now I'm just covering up the black canvas. If there's a lot of strategies to get into a canvas. One could have left this white. It isn't necessarily the easiest strategy, but it is a strategy.
Preserving white can be challenging too.
Preserving white can be super challenging. So, depending on what you're doing, right? We would just want to get the start of this layer in. All right, not bad.
No.
Now I've got a sort of center here into a very dark background.
All right.
Right? And we can assume that the actual kind of end of the wall is perhaps somewhere around here, but I want to get a little rococo going, sort of. So I'm going to take a little brown and black together. Little brown and black, still same brush, painting it in loose. And I'll go over where I have the dress. We're not worried about it. We're going to just be super relaxed. I will curve like the stroke, kind of coming back to kind of maybe play with that halo a bit. And then as we go back, here's what we're going to do. Go right into that dark, dark shadow.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's more black in the brown than brown.
Yeah.
Blend right here. Our chalk lines are coming out now.
Oh, good.
All right, so we're not needing those as much. And one thing that I can do here is I can come into my brown and yellow. And I'm going to very lightly come under this window into the dress even, and I'm going to make some little in the shadow under the window kind of light wood. You guys see that?
Yes.
Now, I also don't want this to be too bright. I just want to imply it here.
Right.
So that the window isn't just, I'm kind of just making sure my dress isn't giving me too much grief and that isn't too bad. And I'm going to go kind of into my white here, and you guys know where the curtains are going to go at this point.
Yeah.
You understand the flow. I'm going to just make sure that there's a nice ground for them to flow into.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having trouble removing this chalk line, a couple of things have happened to you. You have put the chalk on when the paint was still wet.
Oh, yeah.
Or warm. Or you're using something with grease or wax to it.
Gotcha.
Grease or wax is a problem. If it was just you put it into the paint wet, chances are you just dry everything and paint over it. you can eventually get out, especially on this kind of a background here. So I'm going to dry this.
All right.
I'm going to change water to a clean water. This water is a little too dirty. I'm going to beg somebody to heat my coffee and do also a step. Oh, let me dry it. Let me dry it.
You could try first.
I'll dry it.
Yeah, and it's important to make sure you dry in these steps because as we were saying earlier, the lighter and lighter steps can really be muddied by those under steps. So it's important to make sure you thoroughly dry, make sure it's all ready to go on to the next step. No using heat, because heat's not good for any of the paints. So, yeah. Thank you guys. Check out our website, theartsherpa.com. Out there's a calendar. You can find out what we do and when. It's pretty convenient for that. Oh, and I think that
grab this for the next part. Hand this to John.
I can take it.
Can you take it?
Maybe.
All right. So a lot of this painting is about contrast, things having a lot of contrast. And before we can get into the little details, or the weeds, so to speak, or the ruffles of the dress, so to speak, we want to make sure that certain of the elements are set really, really well. I think when you walk by that, the whole camera shakes. When he walks by it, the whole camera, it's like there's nothing happening here. It's just a very bouncy floor, but it won't be forever. It's about to be lifted up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some contrast techniques, which are going to really pull a lot of these elements in together very quickly, right? And actually be simpler than you might expect, so that when we get to go to the bride and we're doing this sort of like more fiddly elements, we can actually sort of sit back and relax and enjoy them, right? Really get into them. And I'm definitely going to be using my T-square, but that's because I'm line challenged. Those straight lines. Now, this is a big one. This is a 2-foot one. It's a Westcott A24. You could probably get away with your regular little plastic one that's 12 inches, just working each side of the canvas. But for the purposes of me doing this here, sometimes I have a tendency to use the big one just for expedience. Mm-hmm. So now I can come here, come across. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come across this lower part, just initially. So back into the red and yellow and brown. I'm painting right into the ruler to help me. Guys, see how I'm using the ruler for that?
I do.
And then where I want to go to the side and get into the red and brown again. You can just be very careful with your brush stroke is another thing to do. And I'm going to bring some black up here. And on the edges, kind of pull that black down. Do you guys see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
That's going to create kind of a lighting drama. See how fast we have a lighting drama there?
I do.
Get that lighting drama going, man. Okay. Oh, but you can see there I got some yellow on there, and that was my ruler carrying paint. So if your ruler carries paint because you forgot to wipe it with the towel like I did, you just come over with some black. Right? You don't have to get too stressed on that at all. And then next time you just take a towel and you wipe the ruler.
Ah.
That's all.
Foil those paint plans.
Foil them good. Okay, so I'm going to come here. And let's just make sure that this is also fairly level. And then a little brown and red kind of coming in. So we really have that lower one, and then I can come back into the black. You know where it's turning?
Must be loose. I'll have to go over and tighten it.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Hold on a second.
Really difficult. Yeah. I'm going to just keep kind of painting these exaggerations along the window. So our sill is dramatic. So my easels come loose is what's going on.
You hold this for a second?
Mm-hmm.
You just hold that whole thing. I'm going to do this.
Do you want me to hold the canvas or the easel?
Oh, I see where it's... You hold the canvas.
Okay. So sometimes when you're working, your adjustments will be wrong, and it's live. So sometimes the premieres are good, right? Because that all happens, and we don't drag you through it. You just get to come chat and watch the lesson. All right. Oh, that looks much more stable. That should make it, oh, yeah, that'll be a little better to paint on. And come underneath with a little bit of drama.
The set screw that holds it in place came, I don't know, just probably just the natural you painting on it.
Worked it loose?
Yeah. And I didn't catch it. I'll know to put Loctite.
Next time?
Well, later today.
Later today.
Tight lock it.
I'm just going to come here and, to the best of my degree, I will do a straight line coming down. You need just enough of this to be right so that you can put most of your energy into our figure for it to look amazing.
At the next break, I'm gonna ask Rosie's question.
Okay.
It's good for the next break.
Is it good for the next break?
Yeah.
Coming along with a little bit of red. We're going to be back on my old easel soon, and a little backed out from the wall, so splash guard won't be as necessary.
Mm-hmm. We have a whole thing. So patrons, hang in there because we're going to be showing you what we've been up to, what's going on. You'll get to see all this. They're going to see all this studio stuff, right?
Yeah, before we tear down.
Ha 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 ha. So this is one of those. I am on the same perpetual hamster wheel that Cinnamon is on in
Get
YouTube.
some white.
Whereas she is chasing the algorithm, I am chasing the girl chasing the algorithm. So the studio always gets updated. So just when you think it's done, you take it apart and put it back together. Right?
Yes, but I didn't do this one.
You-
I'm going to paint everything very light white here. If I lose any of my wood there, I'm just going to come in, mix that color again.
Oh. But we're going to have another studio changeover here soon.
You got to do what you got to do. Just coming into that white. We'll make sure everything around her is just bright.
Hmm.
And I'll put face back and stuff like that as I go. I just need to know where it generally is.
That was another good Nicolas Cage movie.
Well, I'm painting all these white. I'm going to paint this white and all this white.
Yeah.
And John can ask me questions while I'm painting this white.
Which is your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Right now, Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, but okay. So here's the thing, guys. Before you go watch it, warning.
Not safe for work.
It's a lot. It feels like they were just mocking Five Nights at Freddy's. But here's what I'll tell you: it started out, and my daughter and I were like, "This is the worst Nicolas Cage movie," and by the end, we're like, "This might have been the greatest Nicolas Cage movie." Of which he said no words the entire movie. The entire role, no words.
Mm-hmm.
So, was that actually a question? Or were you
I
having
was
me on?
curious.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was a real question. I wanted to know. I'm watching the show. I think I've logged enough time to get a couple questions in.
I mean, if you need, it's not like I'm not right there watching TV while you fall asleep.
Yeah, I know, but we don't really, Nicolas Cage doesn't come up much. Well, I guess more often than probably.
Actually, we talk about Nicolas Cage a lot, to be real honest. We're just painting all of this white, guys. I have a little bit of yellow on there, but since there's yellow underneath, that glow is going to kind of remain there.
So you're just blocking the glow in. Do you have any thoughts on the new crypto art?
Yes. So some of it is the Emperor's New Clothes. Some of it is of absolutely no value other than it exists.
It's the new version of the trading card.
Yeah, it's just, some of it's amazing. And that's kind of true in everything in art. Some art really is a dog and pony show. And some art is just amazing.
But yeah, here's the thing. If you like dogs and ponies, you might like the show.
I think that there's a lot of billionaires that are in tech for which that art meant something. But the first guy that sold, if you actually look at what it was kind of really compelling. Not everything I've seen up there for sale that has sold have I said to myself, well, that was really compelling. Some of it I've been like, huh.
And
okay, but it's not my money. And I don't buy art to invest. I buy art because the painting speaks to me. And that's a very different thing.
So to give everybody a little background here, when we say crypto art, what we're referring to is artwork that is verified as unique through the cryptocurrency engine, or called the blockchain. And so I'm really kind of oversimplifying things, but basically we're saying that this piece of digital art is unique and signed in such a way that it can't be copied or no one can steal it from you.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up actually being true long term.
Right. But it's definitely the technological direction things are going, but it's sort of like a cryptocurrency trading card. And as long as you're into the company that's issuing the trading cards, then it'll be worth something. But yeah,
that's definitely subjective to the collector.
Yeah.
But all art is in some way subjective to the collector. Right? I mean, we're never going to get past that.
Well, Sotheby's versus, the dude selling out of his garage.
Sometimes the dude selling out of his garage has some amazing stuff.
It's true, but I'm saying one is going to have an institution that backs its thing, and the other one's just some.
Well, one is trying to justify that it has convinced people to spend $175 million on a single piece. And the guy in the garage doesn't have to.
Oh, I mean,
the artwork in the garage just has to explain itself. It doesn't need like a defender.
I mean, like as far as crypto art goes.
Oh man, it's inevitable though, isn't
anybody can issue.
We're still just painting this all with white, guys.
Yeah. As we talk about.
Well, because some videos are about like listen to this quiet piano music while we paint this all white, and some videos are about listen to us talk about the blockchain while we paint all of this white. It just really, it's all good. Whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do some piano lessons and then we'll do their real tutorials. How's that? So everybody can have something.
Yeah, I think that the The blockchain art is only
I'm
as
going to
good
step back a bit.
as the people who issue it.
I'm just checking that the window has the amount of light coming through
Yeah.
that I would want. I'm going to get my brush and wash it out, and I'm going to kind of play a little bit with the boards coming under the window, which is, again, the red, the yellow, and my brown.
Ooh, that was tricky.
Yeah, I love the little, I have a brush, and it is this wide.
And you made like a radiator underneath there.
Something. Could be planks. Could be. But it gives us something under the window beyond something dark. I can always come in with my black. Come back in an upward stroke and kind of blend that in
I see.
to the background. Right, that's looking pretty good. I'm not unhappy with that. I am going to dry it. I'm going to dry it.
I'm gonna take a Mewtwo, and someone asked something over here. I'm gonna go check it out. It was how to become a patron, I think. Can you please link me to become a patron, says Patty. Well, Patty, we'll definitely get that linked in here. And thank you very much for asking, because the patrons really help make everything possible here. That's how we're able to provide this free art lessons and do all the cool things that we're working on. And we really appreciate you supporting us. But to answer your question, go to theartsherpa.com and you'll see a little button there that says patron right at the top. Or you can go to theartsherpa.com/patron, and then there you'll find. Hold on, what's that? What's that?
Heat to my coffee.
Oh, yeah. And then you're going to be able to find that stuff. So, yeah, that's how you become a patron. And she'll tell you about what we're going to do next.
What we're going to do next is take a picture of this, and then we're going to come back and add some curtains. And the reason we're doing the curtains next is so that we can put the dress fully in front of them. So sometimes in a painting, when you look at the order in which you paint something, you ask yourself, what has to layer on top? Yeah, what has to be layered on top? And so when I looked at this image, and I really wanted to do this image like almost end of last year, any image you see on my channel, often I schedule out 6 months in advance. It's published different places. I picked it from the previous year. I've released it to my patrons. So none of these are new decisions. There's oftentimes I look at something for a long time too and go, does this need to be here? Would this be something you guys want to paint, or is this something that I desperately wanted to paint? And actually, this painting was something that I desperately wanted to paint. So I'm glad for anyone that showed up today, because I just really wanted to do this painting. There was something about the girl in the window and the dress and the way that she was backlit that really spoke to me. And I feel like, so I've been kind of contemplating the situation where we've all been going through COVID. If you're watching this 5 years from now, this was done when we were all going through COVID. So think back to that time, which is hopefully a long time ago for you in the future and not something you worry about at all now. And I certainly would hate for you to comment like, I can't believe it's still, let's hope not, knock on paintings. But I've been thinking about like all the people who had to put a pause on their life, or maybe their wedding or their engagement, or they didn't get to do the wedding that they wanted to do. And I just thought, man, I want to have another bridal image on here, just sort of celebrate love or coming together. So I did the abstract couple, which you guys are painting so well. And then I did the bride, and I put her on the calendar, and I'm so excited because I feel like, I know it's got a loose thread. Cheap canvas. Cheap. Yay. So that's kind of where that came from on her, is that I just feel like next year it's going to be weddings. So I might be a little bit early, but I do feel like next year we're going to be seeing like a lot of weddings. Don't you, John? You don't know?
Me? I know nothing, but probably.
Yeah.
Something. Oh yeah, we gotta step something.
Mhm.
Are we?
Step it.
See, I need to go double check something because I think. I'm not sure if I'm on step 4 or 5.
I'll let you figure it out. Well, I'll
Me-
think about. So, if you have a wedding coming up, you know, I'd love to know, like, if you're doing this for a bride or as a gift or for yourself or for your future nuptials, whatever those may be. You know, wherever maybe you're jumping out of a plane skydiving, maybe you're scuba diving. You know, maybe you're doing the beach or barn wedding. You know, whoever you're marrying is good. It's all good.
We're step 4.
We're step 4. Okay. So I'm going to do some curtains here, and there's a few things that I can do that like will make this a little bit easier. And I'll start out. I'm going to use my number 8 Art Sherpa cat's tongue. Now, this is a pointed filbert, and it's a very shallowly pointed filbert. Here's a filbert, and you can kind of see what I mean about that in the difference of the shapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could use this or a round, man. I'm just letting you know so you don't go, oh no, if I don't have that brush, this painting cannot be done. It totally can be done. You're fine. You're super, super fine. I'm going to get this a little bit wet, maybe change to a cleaner cup of water. Continue to sip and enjoy my coffee. And I'm going to paint some little curtains. Now, the curtains I'm going to do in a little kind of black and white. And come here, and let's start with some of these downward curtains.
You know, those
So
are
there's some curtains that come down here. And you can see I'm dry brushing, so it's sort of like sheer.
And which white are you using?
Just titanium white. We're not using even any of the, we can get a little yellow into it if you need to. And
Now, if you had a plethora of whites, like, you know,
you could use zinc if you felt like it.
you could use zinc.
I'm going to
If you
bring a
dare.
little curtain. See, I'm going to come over here. Ooh, I got a little excited with my little S-curve, but I'm going to
Ooh.
lean into it.
It's windy there.
Yeah, I like it. Just a little bit of a dry brush. Not too serious. There we go. Just a little bit of those little ghosty curtains coming off. Coming off there. I'm going to get a little brown into that mix. Some of these
All right.
curtains coming off the light might need a little color to even show.
Very typical Sherpa. Coffee in one hand, brush in the other.
What? I'm just taking little S curves and we can.
Hard to know which one she would put down first.
Brush.
Some days, yeah.
Just a little bit going off the edge here. A little bit of black and brown together. Black and red together. Kind of blend that back in. I'm going to rinse that out.
Yep.
You can see my brush is very dry. I'm not using a lot of water. I'm just letting it flow along the top of the canvas. Might get a little yellow into my white. Come along here and give some bright pops of the color coming back where the curtains get more sunlight on them. I'm going to step back and take a look at that. And I just want that beautiful blowing back curtain.
It really does look nice.
It's a little bit of a blowing back curtain. Now this one, maybe come forward with a little bit of yellow at the forward. Back into my gray mix. Over that molding. Into that dark color. Because we'll see some of the curtains back here, but they'll be a darker color, right? Make a little kind of curve back line and then flow it back down. Just keep those lines flowing in relationship to each other. I'm going to load up my brush with white. And then try to create highlights that let me really capture the curtains going on either side of her. Oh, I like that very, very, very much.
Yeah, I do too.
While I'm here, I can take a little of my brown and yellow and some red. Maybe add a little bit of the light that's coming from the window. Brown and yellow and red. Brown and black again. Brown and black over here, and there's a little red in it. Right, creating that little area of light by her. And then brown and a lot of black for the blending shadow. And coming in from the edge.
And thank you and welcome, Patricia. She
Hey,
just
Patricia.
joined our patronage.
Oh my gosh, Patricia, welcome, welcome. Be sure to email us, support@theartsherpa.com. Join the Facebook group. There's a whole playlist
Stuff to
of
do.
videos. If you check the community tab from, like, I think you can see it on your desktop. There's like posts that only you can see. And I always try to drop the playlist in there as well so you can find it easily. And with the exception of the Red Fox Girl, which we're still working on, everything is current up to date. So the multi-parts should be all organized. So you can find everything as you need it.
All the extra videos.
Yes, and if you can't find a resource, you just come in group and say, I can't find it. And I will personally just go hand find it for you.
They had a question about said videos.
I'm going to continue to feather this sort of to the end here, creating that little arc of light on the floor.
The vignette of light.
The little vignette of the light. Yeah, I like the vignette of light.
So, are you ready to answer a question?
Yes, I am taking a little red and black while we're answering these questions.
On the wall there to your left now. If you turn around and look at the camera, it'll be to your right. There's a picture of a kitty cat and a bee. Do you see that one over there?
On my wall or here?
On the wall, the paintings on the wall.
Oh, kitty cat and a bee. Kitty cat and a bee. Yes.
Let me go over there and look at the kitty cat.
Kitty cat and the bee.
Kitty cat
Everybody really likes the kitty cat and the bee.
Which one is that?
That was a design that was part of last year's taster session. If you go by and don't just share the Lifebook link, guys, because you've got to have the one with my personal link on it. For my moderators, I don't know if anybody's got the correct one. It's on the Facebook page, but that was a taster.
Yeah, I'll pull out there so that you can see it in just a second. So like,
Yeah, it was a little taster lesson, but I think I agreed to like do one for the patrons just as a you guys can have it kind of a thing. So I'm just creating like little flows of curtain, but they're in deep shadow. So you can see them, but they're barely showing. Making sure that's very in motion.
mm-hmm.
There you go. I like the motion. You guys like the motion?
I do.
Yeah, it's super cute, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You can come in with a little pop of white and capture highlights on the curtains. Where maybe a little sunlight has caught more of it. All right. Those are very dramatic curtains. Very dramatic curtains. Let's call this a step.
All right.
Look at those dramatic blowing away curtains.
See, now I moved it over there so they can see the kitty cat.
Oh, they got the kitty cats?
They can see the kitty cat now.
Yeah,
There
the
was
kitty cats. This is a grumpy cat, happy cat. I think for the taster, and you guys remind me if you did the taster last year, all the tasters are free. If you go by the Facebook page, the Art Sherpa Facebook page, and scroll down, I've got some info on the tasters. Or if you opened your newsletter, I did a whole newsletter about it. And sometimes she lets you guys have access to past things, past classes, there's offerings and everything. I don't know the whole setup thing. All I know is there's 30 teachers is a really good deal. And I do it every year because it's just, I think, wonderful. So the taster is 30 teachers, 30 classes free over the next couple of weeks. That was last year's. This year's, I did a land and wash watercolor cow. Colorful. Colorful Bessie. So I try to do something fun and different than what I do on my YouTube channel with Lifebook every year. So I need to get the moderators the correct link. Yay. No.
Oh, hold on. There it goes. Okay. So
Okay,
I'm going to
new
put a step up.
New step up.
Do you know what was an interesting thing about that last step? I do not believe the coffee cup was set down during the entire step until the end.
I was thinking and painting.
You were paint sipping, drinking.
I was something in, right? All right, I'm going to take my brown and a little of my black.
Some colors.
And come here and try to capture a little of this line on the face. Now remember, I can always come back with white and take anything back that I feel like I need to. I'm using a number 4 round, so I have a little control over it. I'm on the toe where I need to be. And I'm trying to make sure that I paint a nice forward nose and lip line. And you can see I sort of build that and segment by segment.
Oh, that was Rosie's question. Someone was asking, did I ever answer Rosie's question? Her question was, what is that grumpy cat and bee wasp painting? And someone, Teresa, was just asking, did you ever answer Rosie's question? And that was it.
We did. We got there. We're answering questions.
It's a meta question.
If you guys are looking for winners, I'm going to post the latest group of winners on the website and around by this evening. You guys are wondering what's going on with that. Puppy got distracting.
Yeah, the puppy was a distraction.
A good one.
It was a puppy-sized distraction,
The corgi puppy says.
which is, like a small brick with very, very small legs.
It's just awesome. I'm getting the little arm in there. I'm doing, because she's in shadow, her skin tone is going to be very, very dark, and then we'll add highlights to create like kind of the halo or the...
Ooh.
Shading or shaping.
Georgia asks, what is rococo?
I'm sorry, I meant to say,
Gotta say it with the fun. Rococo.
that's actually an ornate and fancy ornamental type of painting. I think I meant a type of lighting, so I used the wrong word. I apologize. I got into my art head.
But what is it?
Oh, it's a very ornate, like when something is that, it's just, a sort of high French revival.
Ah, that style of lighting?
Yeah. No, not the lighting. This is, believe Baroque.
Oh.
If it isn't Baroque, don't fix it. But I got to check that out. I got to make sure, because my brain is mush right now working on this, guys, and I apologize for that. But I'll make sure I have the correct terminology in the comments.
Rococo, less commonly Rococo or late Baroque, is an exceptionally ornamental and theatrical style of architecture, art,
That's right.
and with pastel colors and sculpted moldings and trompe l'oeil.
Kind of think Marie Antoinette. Any palace.
Yeah, frescoes that create deep illusion were often considered the height of the Baroque movement.
Yeah.
Now,
this is not that. I meant the dramatic keyhole lighting.
Now, see, I can't take credit for that education. Reverend Talley gave that to me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Reverend Talley.
For us both, right? So I'm just kind of getting this in here. Now, where we're going to get the dress right here, right? The dress does kind of show a bit on everything. So I'm going to take a little red into my black. And begin some of that lacing that does a bit show.
Oh, thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
And thank you to all the star senders and supporters and patrons. We love your humans' support and love. It helps make it so that we can make art for all the other humans.
All the humans.
And we like that.
We do. We very much love it. So I'm creating just a slightly lighter area where the bodice is. It's still, the skin is still showing through, but I'm just kind of implying that there's a light lace here. And then we'll put the very white highlights over the top. That's what's going on here. Now I'm going to come in and get a little of my yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Get a bit of a highlight going.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh.
Push that back. I want it to be soft, so I'm going to actually take my finger and just sort of
Is that safe?
push that back. You know,
Is that okay to do?
if you're not using pure CAD pigments, yes, definitely.
Okay. Looking pretty good there. Oops. But I gotta
I'm just wanting to kind of exaggerate some of the subtle highlights that could be happening. There we go. A little more yellow into that because sunlight. A little bit of red in there. little subtle work on the face. And we have a lot of hair going forward, so what I want is just a few shadows, you know?
Oh, yeah.
A few highlights onto my shoulders now. So I'll get that red and yellow and brown and white up here and make sure that we've got a bit of that there, like where the elbow would be.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that here on the back.
It is difficult to paint earthlings in the dark from behind.
It is a little difficult to paint earthlings in the dark from behind. If you're not just doing a basic silhouette. I'm adding a little bit of red here.
That's true. I guess if you silhouetted this, that would make it a lot more like...
Just nothing going on. If it's just silhouetted, it's not even a thing.
And you could even get away with just silhouetting her and then still floofing the dress.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
If you were like me and a little chicken to paint earthlings.
If you were like you and a little chicken to paint earthlings.
Sharks, however. I will paint a shark.
Why would you paint a shark? You're so afraid of sharks.
Because I won't go into the ocean to see the sharks, and humans walk around all over the place. I see them all the time. Well, not as much as we used to.
I'm creating little highlights just figuratively here and there on her body just to help her show. There's not a lot of her, and the dress really is going to go over a good bit of her.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of skin tone videos, as Luell.
Yeah, there are lots and lots of skin tone
Lula.
videos.
We have lots of L names that are very similar, and I get tongue-tied when I have to read them from
Do
afar.
you get the tongue tied?
They're little L's.
So we're going to grab a little bit away here. And
Lubella and Lula and you know, there's just some L names, and I'm not good with switching L names for some reason.
not good at it.
No.
So I'm going to get my brown going.
I think I grew up in like the 90s, so it's Ashley, Amber, Erica, Jessica, Samantha. You know, there's like, I got all those names, but you start, you know, getting a little bit outside of the. My brain goes whoop.
I don't know how you even dated me, man.
You were a spice. A
You
flavor
just were like,
on
I
your
will just
own.
deal with it. It's fine. It's good. It's okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, you know, whatever works, right? Anybody's life, whatever works. So I'm going to bring in some of the highlights to the dress and the lace here. And it's okay if a little gray gets in the lace on her back and then we pop it with some white contrast highlights. That's all right.
Mary's like, take Kevin with you when you go into the water. No. We watch the other humans get eaten from afar.
That's John's his whole plan. You go first.
It's okay. I know there's sharks in the ocean. You somehow have not figured this out yet. Watch Shark Week.
Crisscrossing the back.
I stay on the beach and look at the sharks from afar.
Stay on the tone. I'm going to just imply little bits of lace happening here.
Oh yeah. That's really cool.
I'm just dancing my little toe around.
You're just sort of implying some
I'm
stuff.
implying the lace. I'm not painting every little flower.
All right, Annie, we're going to look for you on the Facebook group.
Yay!
And if anyone else wants to join the Facebook group, we'll look for you too. Because we like people in our Facebook group.
So we're just giving that a little bit of a highlight, right? And that's pretty good. Come and get a little of the red and yellow and some white here. Maybe add a little of that at the hip. A little bit of that at the waist. Just a little bit of that glow, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm not bothering with the second strap is there's hair there, so there's just no point.
Oh, interesting. Had not thought about that.
I'm going to get some white. Highlight just some of the center with some very white. Highlight some of the lace on her. Just dancing it around.
Lots of folks out here chatting.
Chatting.
Just a really nice chat here. That's why you hear me laughing periodically. Is that it's not exactly topical for what we're doing here?
No,
but it's
man, they
funny.
can come talk about whatever they want.
Oh,
They'll get to the painting when they're ready.
I don't want to distract you from teaching the painting, so I'm not fully commenting.
Look back at that. So I'm going to stand back and look at that. And what it should look like is that, you know, there's some highlights in the lights on her dress, and some of it is picking up light, but the things are just dark enough to really feel like what they are.
Really is just beautiful.
Come back with a little bit of some different skin tone kind of ideas there.
That's an interesting question. Do you ever do private lessons?
When we do retreats, those are almost pretty close to private lessons.
A retreat? What's that? Self-plug. Thank you for the segue.
I wasn't trying to self-plug. You know I wasn't.
No, I know you weren't, but the community asked the question.
So you're like, it's a freebie.
Time to hawk our wares.
So right now, to stay relevant on this platform, to deal with all the stuff that's coming on here every day, I'm pretty much like full-time, but we do try to do retreats. And that is somewhat helpful.
We have these things. You can go to our website, theartsherpa.com, and you can go to events and find out about the past events that we've done and learn more about future events soon, because we're going to do more. And those events are a great opportunity for you guys to come out and hang out. And we're going to have a lot more options for different types of events soon. And that news will be coming in shortly, I hope. I would say by the mid to end of October, we'll have a lot more eventing
news. Just brushing, kind of pulling her hair down. Not each individual hair, just the general shape of hair.
Is it like The Shape of Water?
No, that was a very fascinating movie.
Okay.
Which you didn't watch.
Is it?
So I don't know why you keep telling Shape of Water jokes, because you didn't even watch the movie.
Didn't it have like an earthling in it?
I don't know what you mean there.
Well,
I'm going to dry this, actually, and come back and continue to work on the hair and the figure, because the white's picking up into the hair, and I really don't want that, and I want to start pulling that down into her. So,
okay,
give us a second.
So what's you going to do? You're going to dry it?
Mm-hmm, and dry it a little bit.
Dry it a little bit, and then I'll entertain them.
Mm-hmm. We're going to entertain them. Oh, I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to step.
In the
take
words
a picture
of a famous Cylon, the humans shall be entertained. So, how y'all doing? Nice to see you out here. if you want to go out and check out our website, seriously, we have a little store out there, theartsherpa.com/store, maybe? But if you just go to the other, you can click on store. And we have little wares out there that we put together and sell stuff that's cute and stuff. And there's going to be more of that on Amazon soon. What's that?
My back.
Your back.
You my back.
I did not.
See my back.
So there you go. You want to have another step?
Yeah, we'll step it and then continue to work on with her. Because she's just a fun little thing to do. She's just a complicated silhouette. But she's still a silhouette. And I do like that. Because sometimes through silhouettes, by just seeing what highlights you have to get in there to make the figure show, you kind of get a sense of how a figure is built. And you know, and it gives you a lot of opportunity to customize things to reflect, you know, the personal things going on in your life, to be more like the people in your life. If customizing the painting is what you're looking for, sometimes silhouettes have more of that available to you, which is kind of nice. I like that in there. John's over there taking a picture. I don't even know how he's doing it. So, like, we changed our photography studio.
I want to get the glare on.
And,
I don't want the glare on.
oh, was it? Okay. It is a glare thing. So what you see here is we have a couple highlights. We're just starting to pull some highlights and some things in, you know, and just sort of blending and lightening as we go. Because again, she is in, she's, what?
I think that, there.
Okay.
Now we're on the
There
right
we go.
step.
So that's what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with that. All right. I'm going to get some fresh water.
Yeah.
Fresher water. And John will have to get me fresh water really soon.
I'll get that.
Because I've gone through several cups. On the bangs that are coming forward, I'm going to go ahead and highlight, I'm not actually create a very dark kind of value there inside the bang along the forehead. And on the hair coming down towards the ends behind her, I do want kind of like a darker little flow. I'm going to do that there, and then we'll catch everything with highlights. Much like her. Much like her. Bring some little hairs around. Isn't that fun how we can do that? There we go. Coming up over here, and you can see some of this is highlighted there. Okay, over here. All right. Now we're going to get into our orange again. Get into some orange. And create a highlight. I don't think the camera is actually on the orange, so that's why I'm telling you what I'm mixing. And we're going to start to, in the areas where a little bit of the light might catch her, kind of come in with a little bit of orange. On the toe of the brush, just want to use a little bit of it. Here in the face, let's pull some little hair back. And much like the curtains, we're just like letting the hair flow back. And then come down here, and again, you can catch some of the ends in shadows or in highlights. It's all fine. Over here and kind of make sure some of that is a little more lit up. And come back with a little brown.
Julie says, hello from England. And I've seen
Hello
Brazil.
from England, Julie.
And, I saw all over the place. Wales.
So there's a lot of here and here kind of carrying over in the curtains to her hair.
I need to go visit some of our community. I'll be back.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I want to go visit. They're like They live in all sorts of wonderful places.
Man, they do. You can add shadows
Scotland.
and, create big highlights. I want to change out to cleaner water now.
Mm.
I love it when the black water is the cleanest water on your palette. That's
I got
crazy
you more
too.
water.
I know, I just grabbed a cleaner one.
Okay.
So I'm adding a lot more yellow into my orange mix, and I'm going to get some white now.
Canada. Oh, Canada. Yes, we like Canada.
Very much.
We have a Canadian anchor baby.
I don't know that's an appropriate joke anymore, but yeah, we do.
Well, she's our, I don't know. She's our anchor in Canada.
Yeah, she's still Canadian.
She's very Canadian. She's very polite when she's not in charge. She's definitely the in charge type.
So what I'm doing is I'm catching some little highlights on her hair.
Yeah. Your hair, this hair, can we say, is turning out fantastic.
Yes, you can say that. You absolutely can say that.
We have many peoples in the Australia. Hello, Australia.
I'm coming here into my brown.
Oh, Carol's in Belfast. Definitely would like to come visit you.
I would love to have you. I'd love to come over there. I'd love you to come here. I wish we could all travel. Oh my gosh, you just have no idea. None at all.
I will go back to Ireland again soon.
I'm going to get a little orange.
I would say, someone was asking, does Luna apologize a lot? I would say, no, she's unapologetically polite.
Yeah, and also she really believes in the line. You do not cut the cue on Luna. That's the most Canadian thing. So the most Canadian thing about Luna is the line, is the line, is the line.
Is the rules.
And the rules are the rules, and the rules are for everybody, and that is how it is. And if we all just acknowledge the rules and follow them, it's fine.
And she's okay to tell you that you've broken the rules and you should go back to the line.
Back to it.
So, yeah, I would say powerfully polite.
Yeah, just pulling a little bit of light there. I'm just enjoying the light in the hair, so I'm just trying to play with that.
This would make a really good wedding gift.
Huh?
This would make a great wedding gift.
This would make a very good wedding gift. Whew, hair in, so we can start to think about the dress now. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
She was a whole thing to get here, wasn't she?
She was. She still is,
Jeez,
I
man.
think. So what are we gonna keep painting, or is this a step?
Let's call it a step, and we'll get a picture of it, even though it was just the hair, and then I'll come back and dress. Just dress, because I think we're kind of getting there. I do think I might need to. John, I'm not sure we're ready. I think I've got to put more shadow back in the hair, looking at the hair. So the thing is like, as great as the hair is, and it is wonderful, I've got to come back with some shadow because she's so in silhouette. The only way this works is if she is in silhouette, even in the hair.
I too wish I could visit Marilyn's friends in Nova Scotia.
So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that her silhouette, that the hair is enough in shadow to look like, let me look at her.
Like shadow hair?
Yeah, now it looks like the hair is being caught with highlights and the light and the. So sometimes what'll happen is you'll get into painting a subject or a topic, such as hair, and then you'll start painting hair and you'll stop observing your lighting. And then all of a sudden you have like hair that's in it's like got its own ring light or something going on, and you've got to be like, oh, it's going to put you back in shadow because everything else is in shadow, so the hair would have to be in shadow. That's what we were doing there. Now, the dress part is going to be the funnest part of all of it, I think. It's just going to be so fun to paint this. And then we're really going to be done almost. So since you're here, almost at the end, the giveaway is going to be a membership, a free membership to our patronage. On our patronage, you get to name paintings. You get to see stuff early. You have your own giveaways. You get to set your own, yours would be free if you want it, but you get to set your own patron price. Let's see what else. You get paintings that nobody else gets. You get early, you get to see lessons sometimes before they're released to public. So if we do a pre-recorded premiere, we sometimes let the patrons see that early.
And they're going to be, so I could say, they're going to be able to see all the studio stuff before we take it down
before we take it down.
They're going to be able to see all of the upcoming series of videos we're producing that we end up not using. Because we're going to be producing a whole bunch of content coming up that has to be tested and tested and tested and tested.
It may not get user release, so they get to see our stuff that didn't make the platform.
That's right. So, you'll get to learn more about what's going on. And you know what else they get to do?
What?
Step it up.
Step it up. Step.
There you go. Step, see, step.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't have the full graphic screen, so she doesn't know if I'm...
I didn't know what was going on there. I was just like, whatever. So I'm going to get my cat's tongue.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a little bit of my black and white. I am going to...
Adriana in Mexico likes your hair too.
Thank you, Adriana in Mexico. How are things in Mexico? How's the weather?
I think it's a little warmer than it is here.
Is it? Yes.
It's a little further south.
I mean, the only time they tell us anything on the news is if, you've got a volcano, so I don't feel like that's globally true.
Oh, man. I saw
Only volcanoes.
Thing. There's a coolest thing on volcanoes.
Was it Spain had the volcano? Somebody had the volcano.
Well, yeah, I watched this whole thing about the volcanoes and the seismic activity and how there's these standing waves underneath the crust and they follow the fault lines, and you could watch the 5-3 and 4-3 or 6-7-4. You could watch the pattern of these things. It's just okay. I'm tripped out by earthquakes. Sorry.
No, you can be.
There's a lot of seismic activity happening right now, which is very, very interesting.
Yeah, he's been just scaring the crud out of me with it recently. All right, so I'm going to bring my dress is going to come way out this way, and it's going to finish here. I'm going to get my brush rinsed out, and I'm going to go ahead and take a little black and come under here where I need a shadow.
Oh, there it is. Okay, see.
Because remember, guys, the dress casts a shadow, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cast a shadow, so you've got to have a shadow. Smooth that out. Smooth it out. Need one, though. And then back into the gray. Bring some little grays out that I can highlight and play with. I'm wiggling my brush. And the reason I'm doing gray is to make the white really pop against everything and have all those ruffles. You've got to have enough shadow here for it to show. I'm going to come back here and I'm wiggling the brush because the train has such a rough edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my brush strokes in here to be kind of rough, so that they go together. And that's what's sort of fun about painting something like this, is you get to be kind of...
Yeah, Adriana was pointing out it's sunny and the rain's not yet over in Mexico, but the volcano you were talking about is off the coast of Spain.
Yeah, I thought it was
La Palma.
Spain. Thought it was Spain. I'm just saying, I think my boy, you'll understand this because I don't know if your news is like our news, but they only tell you when like something crazy has happened. They're not like, hey guys, everything in Algeria is fantastic today. Just beautiful weather and the birds were out singing and flowers were blooming and there was a nice, yeah, and they're like, fire and doom. Like, so sometimes.
You ever hear like, today in New Zealand, this guy made a new flavor of ice cream.
I've started watching your daily dose of internet just to like calm down. It's called my daily dose of, no, it's your daily dose of internet. It's just my calm down time because it like just shows me stuff from around that's happening in the world. That's not, So now I'm going to start asking when you guys are like, hey, it's hello, so-and-so from so-and-so. I'm going to be like, how's the weather up there? What's going on? Like, tell me, like, there's a festival or like I'm in a pie contest or
your kids' friends call you in the middle of it.
Kids' friends call you, just like whatever's going on. Like, I think I just need to hear some you know what I'm saying? Like some normalizing human, like we're all okay kind of stuff.
And welcome, Christy.
It's been crazy lately.
Christy joined our patronage. Thank you,
Thank
Christy.
you, Christy.
Now, I don't catch all of them, but I generally see them coming in, especially in the lives, because I get little email notifications whenever someone joins our patronage. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We really appreciate all the support here. It's being a patron's a way that you can help sort of give beyond just your own use of the Art Sherpa, and you're able to help support us giving this to other people for free. So really, as a patron, you're not just supporting your own enjoyment, but you're supporting a lot of other people's ability to see these lessons and for us to put them in different languages. And so thank you for being.
Did you say languages?
Languages is what all the humans speak in different parts of the planet.
All
Crazy
right.
earthlings. You should just say, we're going to get along.
So I'm not going to worry yet about this being completely dry, not until sort of like the last layers, right? At this point, it's okay if there's some blending or some smudging into the gray. I just want to capture the overall. Now, some things to think. If you want the dress to feel like it's folded and goes in a bit, you're going to need to kind of keep some of this shadow here a little bit intact, and then you highlight these like outer bits. So this is a bit of, shading and trickery there to make that all work. I'm going to get a little more white onto my brush. And I'm going to get a much lighter gray, but not a fully white area because I want to leave room to highlight. And I'm going to stay on the toe of my brush. You could do this with any brush that you have. And I'm just capturing the movement of the tool. See how that is?
You mean, okay, when you say the movement of the tool, are you talking about your paintbrush or the dress?
The dress.
Okay.
Oh, but that's a good point. Words that sound like things that are other things. Sometimes that's true.
There's also, I could be asking, are you particularly fond of the band and how they dance? Gotta watch how that tool moves. Not quite like Jagger, but they got moves.
Sometimes, a little S stroke in there, sometimes a little wiggled stroke, because this stuff is just in motion, isn't it? So we are painting a little bit of the highlight, but clearly it's not as highlighted, right?
I have to say that fashion has all these words that can mess with you, like tool. It's not even spelled the same. It doesn't even mean the same thing. And salvage, the salvage edge. It's selvage. S-E-L, not salvage, S-A-L. I didn't know that. It's just like I kept calling it the salvage edge.
Me too. Done it my whole life. I just don't even care anymore.
Like Mad Max. I'm salvaging the edge. No, it's selvage, which I thought was like, what's that? This is old English. They made cloth for a long time, so it was called that, so it didn't unravel. Oh, that's.
We just want to create a next layer of light gray, right, guys?
As I wax philosophically about tools.
Down here, a little bit lower outside of the light of the window, you could have slightly darker laces. Just dancing the brush around. Sometimes I rinse out completely and wipe off and reload. And the reason for that is acrylic paint can start to dry on your brush and you can lose the flow that you need to get the effects that you're looking for.
And if we miss your guys' question, I'm sorry. There's a lot of them coming at us on multiple platforms. And
Yeah,
we'll do our
you can
best.
always, okay, so if you have a really like critical, you need to know it from question. If you're on Facebook, you can always put it in the event or in group or email me support@theartsherpa.com. If you're on YouTube, I'm in the comments a lot, so you can even just ask in a comment. Because it's me.
The comments after the live are the best ones to get answered because they stay there. Although the chat does, we can't sort of respond to a question in chat. So if you didn't get it answered here by us during the live, then just leave it in the comments after the show, and that way we can come back around and get it.
Did I tell anybody how to enter the giveaway? Did I tell them to leave a comment with the hashtag the Art Sherpa?
I don't know. Did you?
If you want to enter the giveaway, leave a comment after the show is entirely over with the hashtag the Art Sherpa. Tell me about what romance is. I don't really care if you actually do that, but that's the assignment.
Can it be in a stone?
It could be a romance stone. I would absolutely take
romance in the stone.
It could be.
Romance in
I'm going to go a little bit lighter here.
That was a movie. Like a really old movie.
Like a really old one.
I don't know. It's kind of old.
Kind of
it's not black and white, but you know. It's up there.
Some little highlights coming back.
Oh, thank you, Jackie, for joining their patronage.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys.
You are helping make it possible for us to do all of this wonderful tool talk.
Tool talk.
So this is sort of like a furry cloud that she's wearing.
It's like a furry cloud.
I mean,
it is a bit, yeah.
It's
I'm going to stand back. I'm just making sure that as I put my highlights in, sometimes when you get back from your work, you can see it really well. Just make sure that you've got the values that you're supposed to have.
You always have to wonder. That's a how many layers of dress is that?
This dress is a lot of layers and her hips are tired.
Romancing the canvas.
You know, where the tool is down a little deeper, you go with a deeper gray, even if you're lightening it up. You know, and you want to make sure that you've got just those little bits.
I feel like if Cinnamon and I were going to be a TV show, it'd be more like Mork and Mindy.
Yeah. Nanu. She's a butt. There we go. Just adding little highlights. Even though this is very in the back and it's much more in shadow, you still got to capture some of the lace. Some of it might. As you come out to the outer edge, right, it's very dry brushy. And much brighter in the white there. at the window, guys.
Mmm. The floofy dress.
Floofy dress. We're just playing with the brush, creating a floofy dress.
You're
Super
just
fun.
playing with the tool.
Let the paint come off there.
Mary's so funny.
Mm.
She says, 2 cups of coffee and breakfast, and I'm ready to paint. 2 cups of coffee is breakfast, Mary.
Me too, Mary.
That's second breakfast you got
That's
there.
me too, man. Everybody up for some landscapes? I feel like we need to do some landscapes after this for a little bit.
Mmm.
Some landscapes.
Now, I'm not sure if Mary is suggesting that she has waffles for breakfast or you paint waffles, but she was suggesting waffles.
She's probably suggesting that we paint waffles.
You could do a waffle landscape.
You know who paints a lot of food?
No, I don't.
My mom paints like a lot of food.
Huh.
Always has too. Like a lot of her artwork, like even original artwork, is like when she went on a diet, like she just painted all these salads.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want us to meet? Do you want us to meet Shortcake?
Oh, they've been waiting to meet Shortcake.
All right.
They were complaining about, like, they did not get Shortcake.
Want to meet Shortcake?
So.
Hi, Shortcake. Thank you. Well, it's okay if you do. I want you to know pumpkin.
So there's the screen that you can see.
This is Shortcake.
That's Shortcake.
This
So,
is Honey Stuff.
Oh.
Yay, loved her dog. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's cute puppies that lick their own butt and then lick your face.
I don't care.
Cute.
I don't care. It's so cute. I don't care.
They're so cute.
I don't care. Do you
You
care?
get
I don't care.
Yeah, Honey's over here like, no, come lick my face with
Oh my gosh, she smells like heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven.
Oh, look at the
Sorry,
yaw.
you gotta go potties. I know.
Okay. There she goes. Okay.
Let's go bathroom.
She's got the chubby puppy belly.
Well, you know their bladders like so tiny, so they gotta go when they gotta go. It was kind
Everyone
of even
says
way later.
yes, the Shortcake is the win.
Oh, gosh. Just amazing puppy. Twix is not a fan yet.
The Twix is like, hey, I'm gonna stand up on this chair where you can't get me.
Yeah, Twix is playing a lot of bass.
She's totally figured out that this one's about 6 inches tall and can't go up something 7 inches tall.
For now.
For now. So she's always just like.
I think that's what Twix doesn't know is that eventually there'll be a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to capture little bits of highlight into the skirt.
I suspect there'll be some corgi paintings at some point in the future. Little stubbly legs.
This is so much fun. Just trying to create those nice highlights at the window, you know? Step back a little bit and look. Oh, God. It's just starting to be a little...
Annie in Australia was saying that she uses a architect's chair and drafting thing setups because of her back. That's a good idea.
That is a very good idea.
I loved my drafting table setup when I used to have that. Remember that giant drafting table we had in the apartment?
Oh, gosh, yes. I used it all the time. Remember, I did
so
all my charcoals on there.
Awesome.
Just kind of pulling some little playful lines here.
Had that auto leveling ruler thing. Slide up and down. For those used to draft with a pencil. That's how I learned. Which is kind of a weird thing, I guess.
I don't know if it is weird. I think it's kind of fun.
I know how to draw drafting things.
Rinse out very thoroughly. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little of my yellow into my clean white. And touch a little bit of that to the outside of the dress.
Thank you, Adriana. She says that she loves us, and she thought that the doggy was cute, and I think we surprised her mid comment because it was just like, I like you guys, I love you guys, the learning is great. Oh, the dog!
The dog is the best. So cute. Hi, Twix.
Now she returns. She's like, right now.
Oh, did they touch it? Did they touch your things? This is Twix. Twix is not sure about the puppy. Twix thinks if puppy touches. Oh, I know. Touched me too. See?
She's like smelling. She's like, oh no, that dog was here.
She did the little. Her little.
her like, I'm so upset. There's an interloper in the house, and I don't know what to do.
You're okay. We got you. You know, you guys are gonna be besties. Mm-hmm.
She gets the groomer comes in a couple days, and she'll look less shaggedy.
Oh, I love her. She's perfect.
Got the shaggities look. You know, when I looked away and looked back, now all of a sudden that dress looks like it's full of floofy feathers and not so much.
Well, okay.
Like at first I wasn't sure like where it was like it was like, I'm not sure how like what this is, but like all these little layers are really making it come together. But I'm not like I don't know a whole lot about this stuff, so I'm watching like everybody else here. How come you keep putting gray back in?
Just to make sure that the dress is falling down in the right way. See, stand back and look at it.
I think it looks nice.
Now this gray has a little bit of brown and black and white in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does allow me to get some of the tool motion. What I'm trying to do is just make sure that the dress falls down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Tons of gathered strips of tulle look like feathers. That's what this is, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Twix is like, the interloper is here.
Uh-oh. The seagull pie is a good girl. The good girl. The good shortcake. And Twix is also a good girl.
What's that, Twix?
All the doggies are good doggies.
What's that?
Stand
that,
back
Twix?
a little bit.
What's it? What's that?
Nope. Twix is not having it.
She's over on my lap.
She's not having it. Twix says no. He's
The disgruntled smells and
sniffs. So what we find is generally we just like let her find her way into it in her own time, just gently, slowly.
it's funny because she's got these little disgruntled belly growls, but she's wagging her tail. It's like, I don't trust you, funny thing.
Okay, I think we're kind of
Getting close to a step. Or
I
you
think we're just getting close to
just
signing.
being signing and done?
Yeah, I think we are.
And a little bit of a touch to the curtain things, the shears, the drapes.
Yeah, just a little bit of movement and. Who does Twix not like? Oh, Twix does not. Twix just doesn't know yet how she feels. She's working out her feelings. She'll get there. She'll get there.
Emily's like, I just joined the patronage. I need to know about all the things. Like, where are the videos? Where can I find this ATC thing? Where do I go for more stuff? So, join the Facebook group, right?
Yep.
And then
the Art Sherpa patrons, light keepers. I think they're called the Art Sherpa patron light keepers.
Yep.
And because we're just a goof.
And if
and then there's in there you can ask any questions, and also you can write support at theartsherpa.com, and we'll help you find your dashboard. And then also you have a playlist that is exclusive to you, and you have access to every past video and upcoming live videos. So it's just all yours. Like you're gonna get to, if you get into the group, you get to help name this, because we all know I shouldn't name my own paintings, and then you guys get bylines on the mini books.
Yep.
We like credit you for the names and stuff. And you guys get exclusive giveaways. We're about to close one and open another. And generally for you guys, it's our original art on the giveaway, and then first looks and first everythings. And then you can see all the past stuff, because we did videos in group that are just in group. Like there was a whole series on drawing hands. It's just in group. Bunch of painting lessons that were just in Facebook group. And then we realized, oh my gosh, these are not accessible anywhere else. So we stopped doing that. Okay. I think we were ready to sign.
Yeah, you signed that, and then I'm going to try to see, because they were talking about the flower C. I'm going to go look here in a second, because I'm going to have a look at what was being asked for. There was, where did that comment go?
I'm going to just take some clean water. And, oh, it's so good to see you, Shortcake. How was Shortcake's day going? Missing home. Tough to miss home.
Oh, the flower C painting just behind the one that you're doing currently.
Flower C?
I'm guessing that's it. The flower and C.
Or flower C.
You can show them both at the end.
Or I don't know which one.
Yeah, the
flowers and C. I don't know.
They were in acrylic April from this last year.
This is acrylic April. This one is. Oh no, this isn't acrylic April. This was just recently.
Run down.
This one here?
No, one right down from that.
This
the one you just touched to the right. Go back to the right.
That one?
Step backwards so I can see your. Yeah, it's the one with it's the one with the to the right of the white flower.
To the right of the white flower.
Yeah, down below that.
Okay, that's the hydrangea, the big 16 by 20 we just did.
Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
The 16 by 20 hydrangea that we just did. But that's the 8 by 8 study she did of it.
Yeah. Because I thought, oh, we should paint it small first.
Oh, and you decided to add little tiny highlights.
Yeah, I did.
You took it further.
Well, shouldn't we always?
That's a good thing to do.
This is a little #1 monogram liner. I sign my paintings often with it.
You just decided to add some pizzazz.
I don't know. Yeah, I got all fussy.
You got to put in the jazz hands of painting on.
Was that what it is?
I don't know. The highlights, the sparkles.
Just little kind of curvilinear lines that are just dancing, kind of going through here to sort of capture maybe some of the energy and motion of this dress.
Yeah.
The dress had just a lot of motion in it, and I didn't want to lose that.
By the way, I like jazz hands.
Yeah,
I don't think they're a bad thing. Ooh, that was cool. Put it right in.
I know, a weird little day for us, wasn't it?
That was fun.
We did a nice little bridal painting, and who doesn't like a nice little bridal painting? So bride in silhouette, just kind of on a regular day. I hope you guys really enjoyed that, and I hope if you've got a wedding coming up, this was a fun celebration of that. Next weekend we are doing a Hobbit bowl,
I'm
and then the weekend after that is the campfire. So at sunset, so I think that'll be fun. Campfire at sunset. Hobbit hole is going to be really fun. Also watch the channel because you're going to be seeing different videos coming up during the week. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit all notifications. That way you don't miss the middle of the week videos, because it's really important that we all watch those. Oh, important. Don't miss them. Come in, and we're going to try to maybe experiment with some... Bless us whenever we experiment. We're going to experiment with some things and see if you guys like it. So definitely give us feedback if you think something is good. Check the calendar, upcoming calendar. Sometimes the calendar will show videos. I will try to put things up as a premiere if they're upcoming and just a drop on the week. So to find premieres, those are just in the regular videos. I try to put them in a playlist that you can find, but you've got to hit reminder on those to be notified. YouTube isn't notified. I have no idea why. So if you were like, you're not notifying me, go by and hit the premiere buttons whenever you see premiere coming up. Go, tell me.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
For just joining our patronage.
Oh my gosh, you guys are
Thank you for
incredible.
everybody who's joined. Thank you for all the support, all the help. Love all you guys. It really makes a big difference.
A lot of group approvals today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you so much for joining us today. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other, and we want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye-bye.